Hello, everybody. I'm Skip Elsheimer. Welcome to the AV Geeks lunchtime streaming show where we watch old 16mm films. And we are here watching stuff. I hope everybody had a great weekend. I had a pretty good weekend. Hello, everybody. And let's go ahead and get started with, what is this? How the Telephone Talks. This is a silent film. Some beautiful animation. Enjoy. I took a final bite, and then the film ended. Um, yes, that was silent. And yeah, so that technology to have mass-produced sound film, telephone technology predated that. But it all certainly was related in some way. But beautiful animation. Oh, it's a nice out. But you know what? Let's go bowling. Enjoy.
Maybe you've never been in a bowling establishment before. Or perhaps you have, and it wasn't this kind of place. The carefully supervised kind that millions of discriminating bowlers take for granted today. In the approved places, where bowling is best, you'll always find a healthful, wholesome, family environment. Maybe you're afraid to try to learn to bowl. It's really quite simple. Actually, every person has the makings of a good bowler. Anybody can master the fundamentals of the game and, with consistent practice, become competent at it. How can you know for sure? Just look at the amazing variety among bowlers. Every size, age, kind, breed, and class from all walks of life. Every type imaginable. 20 million men, women, and children in America are regular bowlers. They make the game our country's most popular participating sport. Bowling is a healthful recreation that the whole family can take part in and enjoy together all year round. If so many millions of folks of every possible description can and do bowl and get so much fun out of it, it's a cinch you can learn to bowl and enjoy it too. First thing you have to do is change to bowling shoes. Street shoes are not allowed on the lanes.
Hey, Peg, let's get a move on. They won't hold that lane for us forever.
Oh, why don't you three go ahead and bowl without me? I'll have more fun just watching.
Hey, what kind of talk is that?
Bowling's a snap, Peg. You'll see. It's fun. Come on, let's live it up a little.
Nothing to it. We'll teach you all you have to know in 2 minutes flat. Once we get out there, that is.
Come on, Peg, let's give it a whirl. We'll never know till we try.
That's the spirit. We'll have both you bowling like champions in no time at all.
Lives there a bowler of any degree who doesn't fancy himself an expert? Especially when it comes to giving advice about the game. Every member of the Bowling Proprietors Association provides a complete assortment of top quality bowling balls for your use. If you bowl regularly, it's advisable and more convenient to own your personal ball and shoes. See the desk man if you wish to buy them. He's set up to fit you quickly and accurately. The main idea is to knock down all 10 pins with one roll of your ball. Do that and you've got a strike. Oh, too bad. We know, not warmed up yet. When your first roll doesn't get all the pins, you bowl the same ball again to complete your turn. If all pins are down after the second roll, you've scored a spare. Otherwise, your turn is scored as an error, and it's the next bowler's turn to take a crack at all 10 pins. These two regulars could use some instruction instead of trying to give it. If they could bowl like they can alibi, what stars they'd be. There must be an easier way to learn to bowl. There sure is. The first time you go bowling, tell the desk man right off the bat that you've never bowled before. If you're in a place that belongs to the Bowling Proprietors Association, he'll see to it that you get some expert coaching. It doesn't have to be like this. This is learning to bowl the hard way. And you develop bad bowling habits in the process. What an alibi artist. The Bowler's Lament. A sad, sad song indeed. Enough's enough. What say we knock it off and start all over again? Let's just imagine that our little party is joined by two of the ablest bowlers and bowling teachers of all time, Ned Day and Marion Latawig. Of course, you don't have to have personal coaching from famous professionals to learn to bowl or improve your game. Your nearest Bowling Proprietors Association member can provide you with good bowling instruction. But let's see how Marion Latawig and Ned Day go about it. When you take your ball from the return rack, put your palms on the exposed sides and lift up. Any other way, you risk getting your fingers painfully pinched. The first principle of good bowling is a confident, comfortable grip in a well-fitting ball. Most bowlers use the popular three-finger grip. Thumb and two middle fingers in the ball, with the other fingers comfortably spread, not bent nor curled under. In a well-fitting ball, the holes permit free and easy thumb and finger movement. With the thumb in its hole, the middle joints of the fingers should be over the inner edges of the finger holes. The key to good bowling is timing, the coordination of footwork and arm swing in the approach and delivery. Timing can make or break a bowler. Smooth, rhythmic footwork is fundamental. Let's take the basic four-step approach. Just the footwork. Right-handed bowlers step off with the right foot. Left-handers with the left foot. Right, left, right, and slide on the left. Okay, let's take it again. This time at a leisurely, normal walking pace. 1, 2, 3, slide. Don't be afraid to get down close to the floor in that slide. Being comfortable and relaxed are essential to good bowling. The main point is to make the approach with an easy, unhurried, rhythmic walk. Speed is not necessary. Hey, take it easy, boy. Unhurried, remember? Don't charge in your approach. Just use a nice, normal walking pace. Your slide must always end short of the foul line. If you step on the foul line or over it, you're penalized. A few practice approaches will show you where to start from. It depends on the length of steps you take. Your stance must be relaxed and feel natural for you, but be precise too, comfortable but not casual. A correct stance is essential to good coordination in your approach. When you take your stance, check yourself on these points. Body almost erect, leaning a bit forward. Shoulders and hips square with your line of approach. Eyes fixed on your target. Knees bent slightly, with your weight equally distributed on both feet, which are comfortably set no more than a few inches apart. Toes pointing at your target, starting foot slightly behind the other. Hold the ball directly in front of you, anywhere between belt high and shoulder high, at a comfortable distance from your body, with the ball's weight supported mostly by your non-bowling hand. That's got it, gal. A mighty lovely stance. The push-away starts the arm swing. Whatever height you hold the ball, push straight out. Whoop, not like that. Never upward. Push it straight out away from you. Straight out to full arm's length. Let the ball's own weight start it downward and swing it like an easy-going pendulum. There's no need to strong-arm the ball. Its momentum carries it to the top of the backswing. Its weight sends it through the forward swing. You don't have to force the ball nor throw it. After you push away, let your ball do the work. Good bowling does not depend on physical strength. Now let's coordinate the timing of arm swing and footwork. The push-away is the trigger of the approach. Push-away and takeoff start simultaneously. This is the key to good timing. Watch it in slow motion now. Ball and foot start together. The ball moves through to the top of the backswing at the end of the next to last step, so the forward swing and slide begin simultaneously. The end of the slide and the release occur together. This is the explosion point that gives authority to a good bowler's delivery. Let's take the slide and release again. The forward swing and slide start together. As the foot stops and the hand starts the upswing, the thumb, and then the fingers slip out of the ball. Watch that again. The ball is not thrown. The hand simply lets it slide away as the arm swings up. Look at that follow-through. The development of a good follow-through is neglected by far too many bowlers. Yet the effective value of an excellent approach can be canceled by a poor follow-through. When you follow through, let your arm swing up until it's reaching for the target. Be sure your arm is reaching for the target when your follow-through ends. Here's the follow-through again. Arm reaching for the target, eyes aiming steadily, all helping to direct the ball. Now let's take a close look at our target. 10 big fat pins just asking for it. The numbers on these pins designate the pin spots. Ordinarily, the spot number does not appear on the pin. For right-handed bowlers, the strike target is the 1-3 pocket. The bowler's primary aim is to fit the ball neatly into the strike pocket. The straight ball and the hook ball are the two types most commonly bowled. The straight ball is easier to handle and guide until a bit more experience and control are acquired. It's held with the thumb on top, aiming at the target, and released with no twist nor lift. The straight ball is bowled from almost the corner of the lane on a straight line to the target. This is the straight ball path. The hook ball starts closer to mid-lane, travels almost straight until it nears the pins, then hooks into the target. After you master the straight ball, you can develop your hook ball. Most experts prefer it. The hook ball is bowled with the V formed by the thumb and forefinger, in line with the right shoulder and aiming at the target. This hand position helps put a natural English on the ball when it's released, causing it to hook. Let's watch the hook ball release in slow motion. The lifting action of the upswinging fingertips leaving the side of the ball imparts the English, or hook action. The hook ball enters the pocket from a wider angle, causing less ball deflection and more mixing action in the pins. That's why the experts prefer it. There are two popular aiming methods, pin bowling and spot bowling. In pin bowling, you keep your eye fixed on the pins and aim directly at them. Pin bowling is best for beginners. It's natural to look and aim at the object one's trying to hit. Spot bowling presumes that a closer target is easier to hit. We'll use this one to demonstrate. Spot bowling also assumes you've mastered a uniform approach. Your footwork has to start and stop at the same point each time. You pick a spot where you know if you bowl exactly over it, you'll hit the pins you're after. To spot bowl a strike ball, most bowlers use this built-in spot right here. Each time you bowl, you fix your eyes on the spot, not the pins, and aim to bowl over it. The exact location of the spot varies with the bowler. With practice and experience, you simply pick out a spot that works best for you. Whether you pin bowl or spot bowl, use a straight ball or hook ball, The main thing is to fit that ball neatly into the strike pocket. Of course, every bowler, even a star, faces a lot of spares. Consistent spare shooting is what builds a bowler's average. Making or missing a spare or two can win or lose a match. Concentrate as hard on a spare as you do on a strike. Harder, maybe. The stars have a motto. Make sure you get your spares. The strikes will take care of themselves. Spares are shot from 3 basic angles. One is the 5-pin angle. It's bowled from almost center lane, just about like a strike. Use this 5-pin angle for all middle alley spares. Then there's the 7-pin angle, bowled from the right corner of the lane, cross alley to the left. The 7-pin angle is used on all left of lane spares. And there's the 10-pin angle. From the left corner, cross alley to the right. This 10-pin angle is for all right side spares. The cross alley idea is fundamental. Shoot all off-center spares from the opposite corner of the lane. Hold it a moment there. This is a right side spare, so you start from left of center. Angle your body to face the spare, shoulders square with it. Walk straight toward it, bowl cross alley, and follow through on the same line. That's the way to do it. A left side spare this time. Start from the opposite corner, facing the spare cross alley, shoulders square with it. Walk directly at it and follow through on the same angle. Nice going. And here's a middle alley spare. She bowls it almost center lane from about her normal strike shooting position. Bowling is easy when you apply a few simple fundamentals that anybody can master. After you've learned the fundamentals, further improvement comes only with consistent practice on a regular schedule. Nothing can take the place of practice for increasing your bowling skill. The once-a-week league bowler should get at least twice a week practice between league sessions if he wants to up his average. About 2.5 million of America's bowlers are small pin enthusiasts. Duck pin bowling is the most popular of the small ball, small pin varieties of the game. Most of the fundamentals are the same in all varieties of bowling. In the small ball games, you use the same basic approach. Of course, the small ball requires a different grip and release. The ball is held the same natural way you pick it up off the rack. You grip it with the fingers and thumb. It does not rest in the palm of the hand. It is held equally balanced in both hands. Slow motion now. Watch the release of the ball. It rolls off the fingertips with no twist of the wrist. Here's the release again. Straight off the fingertips, the back of the hand parallel with the floor. In duck pins, the beginner should bowl a straight ball, cross alley to the strike pocket. Many duck pin experts bowl a break ball. It's rolled down the middle of the lane. The break ball's effective, but it's not for beginners. Too tricky. Be sure you're proficient with the cross alley straight ball before you try to bowl the break ball. When you've mastered the fundamentals, increasing your duck pin average is strictly a matter of regular, frequent practice and more practice. To get the most possible enjoyment out of your bowling, by all means join a team and bowl in a league. See the desk man for information about this. Nothing can top the excitement and satisfaction of being a regular, competing in team play. There are certain points of etiquette you should observe. Simple courtesies of the game toward your fellow bowlers. Arrive early and be prepared to start on time. And throughout the game, be ready to bowl whenever it's your turn. Never interfere in any way with another bowler, especially the one on the lane to your right. If he's taken his stance, don't do anything that might distract him. Let him bowl before you proceed. When you get a bad break, don't lose your temper. You spoil the game for others and your own bowling suffers. After you've bowled, quickly get back out of the way and be sure you stay on your own approach path. Everyone can enjoy the rich satisfactions that bowling offers. It's a friendly, family sport that anybody can fit into. It's a daytime, nighttime, year-round participating sport that offers more steady, wholesome recreation to more people than any other. 20 million regular bowlers confirm this. Bowling gives you all the benefits of consistent, healthful exercise without strain, so you can enjoy it all the years of your life.
I gotta say, duck pin bowling is awesome. It's more about skill and less about the having to deal with a giant ball. Even the light ball is still, I don't know. I just find duck pin bowling is so much more informal and fun. And there's a wonderful duck pin bowling place in Baltimore that I've been to a couple of times, and it's BYOB, and it's 2 stories. It's a lot of fun. So if you're in Baltimore, check it out. This next film, I think this is about making highways by Bethlehem Steel. You know, because we have to show our required steel content every week, and I'm just going to go ahead and knock it out. So here's an open road. Enjoy.
The modern highway, outgrowth of the motor age. In every part of the country, roadways such as this, smooth and durable, lead the traveler to his destination and speed the movement of materials of every variety. Rolling along over the long, straight stretches, often flanked by eye-filling scenery or rounding graceful curves, the traveler seldom thinks of the engineering skill and construction technique utilized in these ribbons of concrete and steel that make possible the miracle of modern transportation. Steel, dramatically flowing from the open hearth furnace for processing into many forms and products, today is an indispensable material in the construction of the modern highway. Oddly enough, a great portion of the steel used remains forever embedded in the paving, where it serves to give the roadway permanent strength and durability. Some of it, however, is visible as in overpasses and bridges. In the construction of highways, steel serves also in the complicated and amazing road building equipment characteristic of the work to be done. The toughest jobs are accomplished in stride, and roads can be cut through to provide the most advantageous routes. In the old horse and buggy days, the course of a road was frequently dictated by the location of a bridge. This was the era of the covered bridge, picturesque and substantial, but today a symbol of the past. As the automobile brought higher speeds of travel and more traffic, the type of bridge was gradually changed to meet the new conditions. Through the use of steel, rivers are now spanned without deviation from the prescribed course. Modern bridges, designed with an eye to beauty as well as strength, are a part of the highway. Early concrete roads were simply cast slabs without inner reinforcing, but the traffic soon became too heavy for this type of roadbed. The lesson was learned that highways, like other types of construction, can only be as strong as the materials used in building them. Steel has the needed strength and adaptability, and the steel industry has developed through research many different products for use in highway construction. The steel for such products first appears in the solid state in the form of ingots. Here's a 6-ton ingot starting on its way to be rolled into a wide flange structural shape. Cast in conventional form from molten steel out of the open hearth furnace, the ingot is reheated in a soaking pit furnace to a temperature of about 2200 degrees Fahrenheit when it is ready for rolling in what is known as a blooming mill. At this temperature, the form of the ingot is readily changed by passing it through the rolls which exert pressure on it. Each time the ingot passes through the mill, the rolls are brought closer together. Thus, each pass reduces the cross-section and increases the length proportionately. The mill is equipped with manipulators which turn the ingot so it can be rolled on all sides, thereby improving the internal structure of the steel. The mill operators have complete control of the operation of the rolls and the movement of the ingot through the mill. After the steel has been passed back and forth between the roll a number of times, the rough form of the eventual cross-section begins to be apparent. The steel is at a temperature high enough to permit rolling in subsequent mills without reheating. After being rolled down in the blooming mill, and before it is passed on to the next operation, the ends are cut back to sound metal. The long steel shape is then sheared into lengths convenient for rolling in the structural mills. Each of these lengths is passed back and forth through the various roll stands which constitute these mills. First through the roughing rolls, then through the finishing rolls. As in the blooming mill, each pass results in a reduction in size and an increase in length. The last step before cooling is to cut the 200-foot member to commercial lengths by means of a hot saw. The rolling process has been completed, from ingot to finished product, in about 10 minutes. Many types of rolling mills, differing in size, though similar in character, are used to turn out a wide range of steel products for highways. For the demands of the road builder for these products are as varied as the terrain upon which he must construct your highways. Where the soil is not firm enough to support the roadway, as in marshy areas, the wide flange H-piling is very helpful. These long steel sections are driven down through the soft earth till they rest on the bedrock many feet below. Other steel members, including the reinforcing steel, can then be joined by welding or otherwise to the top ends of the piling. And the whole thing will be as solid as if the roadway were built right on the bedrock itself. Another form of piling, steel sheet piling, is manufactured in a variety of cross-sections and plays an important part in the construction of a modern highway. This versatile material is also used for permanent retaining walls and to give extra strength to structures such as bridge abutments. When it is necessary to construct a concrete pier in the bottom of a river, a temporary cofferdam of sheet piling is called for to hold back the water. Steel sheet piling is the ideal material for this purpose. One pile interlocks with the next, and the joints are accurately mated to reduce water seepage to a minimum. It can be easily driven and often can be withdrawn and used again. With the temporary cofferdam in place, construction proceeds within its protecting steel walls. Where your highway must cross the larger bodies of water, steel really comes into prominence. Here, where a main highway spans the Susquehanna River at a point where it is about a mile wide, we find an example of what the steel industry means to this great business of highway construction. Actually, construction of a highway bridge starts almost as soon as the site is selected. It has to, because there's a tremendous amount of design and engineering work to be done. The topography largely determines the type of bridge to be used. Every piece of steel in it is cut to strict specifications at the steel company's fabricating works and assembled into sections of convenient size for transportation. These sub-assemblies are scheduled to arrive at the bridge site in the order in which they are needed. Here, as elsewhere, steel serves not only to support the roadway, but to hold together and reinforce the concrete pavement. Everybody knows about famous steel structures like the Golden Gate Bridge, the George Washington Bridge, and the Chesapeake Bridge, but few people think of them as what they really are, highways over water. Not just connecting links between two highways, but part and parcel of the highway itself. From the standpoint of actual mileage, of course, most of a highway is built on the ground. And even in the first steps of construction, steel enters the road building picture. Road building today is no pick and shovel operation. For yesterday, the roads more or less followed the contour of the land. Today, the shape of the land must be made to conform to the plan for the highway. Ridges must be cut away and gullies filled in. Steadily, over the years, the jobs have become bigger and tougher. And to meet the challenge, heavier and more specialized steel road building machines have been developed. One such machine is the drag scraper. It scoops the dirt off the high spots, carries it along, and deposits it in the hollows in one operation. Power shovels of many standard and special types dig away the earth and expose rock formations. These obstructions were spotted previously by the surveyors and now must be removed to bring the highway to the established grade. With modern equipment, it's more economical to blast them out of the way than to go around them. Air-powered drilling machinery bores into the rock, making holes for dynamite. The drill itself is hollow, and the blast of air forced down through the center blows the rock dust out of the hole. It's a faster operation than the old way and gives a truer hole for the explosive. After the required number of holes have been drilled in the layer of the rock, the dynamite is carefully tamped into place. And when the area is cleared, after the dust settles, men and machines dig in again, scooping up the broken rock. In this type of work, equipment really takes a beating. Wire rope, a few hundred pounds of it installed on a 30-ton shovel, is the steel member on which the whole mechanism depends. Wire rope is strong and resilient, must withstand the highly abrasive atmosphere of the construction project, and must not fail when subjected to repeated flexing over small shivs and drums. As manufactured today by Bethlehem Steel Company, wire rope gives outstanding service under hard usage. Modern highway design does not tolerate grade crossings. In most cases where a railroad or another highway is encountered, either underpass or overpass is provided. In bridge construction, concrete piers are reinforced with steel bars. The protruding ends are left long enough to be bent over and tied into the bridge deck. In either piers or pavement, a firm bond between steel and concrete is assured by the deformations rolled into the bars. Bethlehem Steel Company maintains reinforcing bar fabricating shops in all major highway construction areas. Road building materials are stocked at these locations. As needed, reinforcing bars are cut to length and bent to shape. In any mass of concrete, certain lines of stress develop, and the bars are carefully bent to follow these lines so that they will bear their full share of the load on the completed structure. Used in all kinds of concrete work, reinforcing bars are one of the most important steel products in modern highway construction. This heavy structural member built up in one of the company's fabricating works is intended for use in an overpass. Getting a member of this size to the place where it's going to be used is sometimes difficult. Often the building site is many miles from the railhead, and this means trucking over unimproved highways or temporary rough-graded work roads. Specialized machinery does the job with seeming ease. Cranes also had to be moved to the site ahead of time. As with any construction, there is much planning and preparation before the final sections can be added. When the piers are ready, the cranes are there and the lift is made. With precision and complete assurance, the girder is carefully set into place. It's 100 feet long and weighs somewhat over 30 tons, yet handling it is all in the day's work to the modern road building crew. Road building is a continuous operation. While work is going on elsewhere, the right-of-way is steadily being cleared of all obstacles and made ready for the paving crew. In preparation for the concrete, steel paving forms are staked in place along each side of the lane to be paved. Besides providing a retaining wall for the concrete, the forms are used as tracks on which some of the paving machinery moves. These forms are laid upon the subgrade, which previously had been prepared to sustain the load specified for the paving in the roadway. A well-drained subgrade also prevents the resultant heaving action of the paving if it is subjected to freezing temperatures. An odd-looking gadget called a scratch template gauges the exact depth needed for the concrete, and the big job of preparation is finished. Now comes the paving, and here too steel steps in. There are several important items that won't be visible when the highway is finished because they'll be embedded within the concrete pavement. Here is a simple but effective steel device that demonstrates how steel industry research has solved a road building problem. This device, the keyway, is one of many steel specialties that not only conserve time and labor, but more important, add to the strength and durability of the pavement. The keyway and a companion piece, the center joint tie hook bolt, are quickly and easily assembled on the job. Attached to the paving form, the keyway projects into the concrete when it is poured. When the form is removed, the keyway thus formed provides a groove or mortise into which concrete from the adjoining slab will flow, forming a tenon. Where keyway and hook bolt are not used, the weight of moving traffic tends to depress one slab where it meets the other along the center line of the paving. In time, this causes cracking. So, by using the keyway and enclosing the hook bolt in the concrete, an interlock is created, and the two slabs are tied together, sharing the load. Displacement and subsequent failure are prevented. After the paving form is removed, the hook bolt that will anchor the adjoining slab is simply threaded into the embedded sleeve nut. Another important aid to good road building is the Bethlehem dowel unit. Whenever concrete is poured in a continuous operation, a means must be provided to control the cracking that may occur because of stresses induced by heavy loads and temperature changes. Otherwise, there's no telling where the cracks will appear. That is why there are joints provided between sections of the concrete. Any cracks that occur will then be where they are wanted, that is, where the dowel units are placed. When the steel dowel unit is not used, the natural cracking of the concrete is uncontrolled. Temperature changes increase the cracking, destroying the overall strength of the concrete. Because the slabs are not tied together, the pressure of heavy traffic causes them to sink down into the subgrade. And when water seeps down through the widened crack, pumping begins. The inner structure of the highway begins to deteriorate and eventually to crumble and fall apart. When the steel dowel unit is used, the faulting is controlled and held to a minimum. Also, pumping is prevented, thereby preserving the integrity of the subgrade. The concrete stays strong and firmly in place. The dowels hold the slabs in line under temperature changes and also provide a means of transferring the weight of heavy traffic from one slab to the other. Dowel units are economical to ship by rail or truck. They nest easily, and because they are light and compact, they can be assembled either right on the job just ahead of the pavers, or if more convenient, at the contractor's stockpile. The steel plate fits snugly, and the oblique slots keep it from floating in the wet concrete. Used in this combination, the unit becomes a contraction joint. Another important use of the dowel unit is in an expansion joint. Concrete naturally expands and contracts with changes in temperature. Also, solid material sometimes gets down into the joints and takes up space. In time, if nothing is done about it, the slabs will buckle. By inserting a cork or fiber filler instead of the steel plate, a means is provided to absorb the pressure, and the highway remains intact. With the fiber filler in place, the dowel unit is ready for its job in an expansion joint. The filler allows for the expansion of the concrete due to temperature changes, as well as its growth as it ages. It also prevents foreign material from entering the joint. When the dowel unit is placed in position, a temporary cap is installed over it. This is to protect it against the first rush of concrete in pouring. The cap will be removed before the concrete hardens. In addition, short lengths of tubing are slipped over one end of each dowel, alternating between one side of the joint and the other. Thus, working space is provided within the concrete for the longitudinal movement of the slabs. Thermal changes affecting the concrete cause it to expand and thereby exert pressure on the filler, which forces the sealing compound slightly above the joint. When the pressure is relieved, the compound retracts to fill the void, thus maintaining its sealing property. Concrete paving today is a highly organized assembly line operation. The dry ingredients, sand, stone, and cement, are carefully measured elsewhere and brought to the job by a fleet of trucks. Each batch is dumped into the dual drum paver, which is really a mixer on wheels, capable of handling up to 72 batches per hour. On single lane paving, The teamwork of men and machines up to an average of 3,000 feet of finished paving in an 8-hour day. The mixer has 2 drums. This design enables the paving operation to proceed without delay, because while one batch is being mixed, another is being transferred to the bucket. The moist concrete is dumped on the roadway just ahead of the spreader. This way of working is called the strike-off method of paving, which means that the first course of concrete is roughly leveled off at the proper height for laying in the reinforcing steel, which is in the form of steel mats. This hinge type is a product of Bethlehem Steel Company. These steel mats are fabricated at a number of Bethlehem's plants and mill depots. The special hinge makes it possible to handle the extra wide mats easily. Because they fold to 8-foot widths, they can be loaded compactly and shipped on trucks or railroad cars. They require a minimum of field storage space, and when folded for shipment, clip base, preventing racking of the mats. As the mats arrive on the job, they are laid out ahead of the pavers, ready to be placed over the first course of concrete. The procedure for laying the second course of concrete is the same as for the first. The same machinery is used and all operations are repeated, except, of course, the spreader is raised to the new level. In double-lane paving, the slabs may be poured as wide as 24 feet. Most highway steel products are designed to fit either paving method, but in double-lane paving, single bars of reinforcing steel are used in place of hook bolts. These bars provide a center tie between the 2 halves of the wide slab. In double lanes, the center joint is formed by cutting after the concrete is poured. This gives the double lane slab the appearance of 2 lanes. Naturally, a double width lane requires twice as many steel mats as a single lane. In both types of paving, the hinged mats are simply unfolded and laid out side by side. Just a simple arrangement of steel rods crisscrossing the roadbed, but when the final course of concrete is put in place on top of them, this strong mesh of steel locks the whole thing together. This is highway steel in one of its simplest but most effective forms. The spreader now goes to work on the concrete mass. This action serves not only to distribute the concrete evenly between the forms, but also agitates it so as to maintain the proper distribution of the ingredients. Whether the road builders are using the double lane method or paving 1 lane at a time, the basic procedure from here on is the same. Following along behind the spreader is a battery of finishing machines. Each machine has 2 oscillating members called screeds, which scrape off the concrete at the level of the paving forms. This operation is repeated by a second machine, which closely follows the first. The action of the screeds not only establishes the final grade level of the finished highway, but also consolidates and improves the structure of the concrete near the surface. The last machine in the line is the longitudinal floater. But before this goes to work, the temporary installing caps over the dowel units are spotted and removed. The function of the longitudinal floater is to fill in and smooth out any waves or depressions left by the previous machines. As its name implies, the oscillating motion of this machine is perpendicular to that of the other machines. Thus, the concrete surface is smoothed out in both directions. Then the rough highway is ready for the rear guard of hand craftsmen who follow the road building machinery, craftsmen who put a final finish on the road surface. Any slight wrinkles left in the wet concrete are smoothed out by the hand float finisher. Other men follow with strips of burlap on a wooden frame, giving the surface the proper texture for traffic. Craftsmen finish the edges along the paving form and smooth out the concrete along the joints. There are several ways of curing concrete. In this instance, burlap is placed over the fresh paving and kept moistened until the concrete is set or cured. This prevents the concrete from drying out too fast. When the pavement is completely dry, the joints are sealed, which helps to prevent moisture from getting down into the subgrade and is the final step of the paving process. This section of finished highway with its backbone of steel will be utilized by numberless trucks and passenger cars during its lifetime. It is therefore not surprising that the same type of construction is being used in airport runways, which today need to be more durable than ever before. Planes are bigger than they used to be. They fly faster, and they carry heavier loads. Concrete has been found to best withstand the effects of impact and the terrific heat generated by fuels, such as are used in jet planes. And so the steel and steel products that make today's highways possible also serve today's airways by strengthening the airport runway. No highway is really completed until it's equipped for safety. Wherever there's a curve, fill, or other danger spot along the road, there's a need for protection. Safety beam guardrail is a strong and effective highway guard. The steel posts to which the beam is attached arrive on the job cut to length and properly punched. The special post-driving equipment mounted on a truck drives them to uniform depths. Steel guard posts are easy to align, and they last longer than other types. The beam sections have a shop coat of paint and are ready for assembly when they arrive in the field. Safety beam guardrail is cold formed from strip steel and then punched and sheared to specified length simultaneously. The channel construction gives it unusual strength. After they're formed and punched, the guardrails are finished by being cleaned and given their protective coat of paint. One bolt fastens the rail to any type of post, and a splice assembly made up of a splice plate and bolts secures the beam ends to make one strong continuous steel rail. The flared ends of the rail add to the appearance of the job. Safety beam guardrail gives ample protection because the continuous steel beam tends to absorb impact and distribute it over a wide area. A finish coat of white paint completes the installation, making the safety beam visible night and day. The safety beam guardrail adds to the streamlined appearance of the highway. Another highway safety guard, adaptable for use with wood, concrete, or steel posts, is the cable guardrail. The shape and depth of the offset bracket gives this guardrail exceptional shock-absorbing qualities. The anchor rod is attached to a concrete block buried in the ground. Turnbuckles maintain tension in the cables. This is still another packaged unit of the steel plant. The addition of right-of-way fencing gives further protection to the motorist and to the property owner. Its hinged joint construction contributes to its flexibility, which is as well as its installation. Here is a protective web of steel hung on its supporting self-fastener post, a finishing touch of steel for the modern highway. And so your highway is completed and steel has entered into every phase of its building. Steel equipment was used in clearing the roadbed and in pouring and smoothing the concrete. Steel buried in the paving and piers reinforces and strengthens them. Steel makes possible the necessary bridges and overpasses. Steel guardrails and fencing are protection to the traveler. In all parts of the country, highways that are so important and necessary to our civilization are being built today with steel. Highways that will serve for many years to come. They must be strong and smooth and able to carry the great caravan cars and trucks and trailers that make up present-day traffic safely to their destination. The modern highway is truly the open road, the broad, pleasant avenue leading to business and creation, and future portends in highway planning and construction.
Really? It just ends? That's crazy. Thanks for watching. I know I had 2 long films today. I had a lot of work I had to do during the show, so I apologize. And I will say that I learned, frustratingly, that Twitch, I thought that I was amassing something to where I was going to ascend to the next level. Well, what I learned is because I'm doing a 24/7 streaming channel, the fact that I had like 15 people watching at one time gets averaged out over a period of time and doesn't work. So I have to refigure what I'm going to do for a 24/7 streaming channel, because I don't think I can have everybody watching the channel all the time to get it to do what I need it to do. So I'm doing some more research. If you go to avgeeks.com, I do have something through another company called Video Nest, which will stream stuff. And everybody kind of, I think, watches the same thing, but there's a little bit of an offset. And so if that's the case, if you go to avgeeks.com, I don't have a way to comment yet, but I might try to figure out a way to allow for dynamic commenting. That will have ads on it, but it might be a way to share stuff and watch stuff when I'm not doing this live. Twitch, YouTube. I got so much stuff I want to share, I want to show, and you guys have so much stuff you want to see and talk about, and it's annoying. But thanks for watching nonetheless. This is a good time. I enjoy this time with you guys, and I enjoy your comments. And we will be back again tomorrow, watching more films. It'll be great. Everybody have a great rest of your day, and we will see you tomorrow.